Level 1, Private. The bus drops you off at 4:47 a.m. No one told you what time it would be. No one told you it would be dark. No one told you that the moment your boots hit the pavement, someone would already be screaming at you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because this is the first lesson, and the lesson is this: you are nothing here. You own nothing. Your name is gone. You are a rank, a number, a body they have to process. You stand in a line with 37 other people who are just as lost as you are, and you do not make eye contact. You already understand, instinctively, that making eye contact is dangerous. You don't know why, you just know. Basic training breaks you down in a specific sequence. First, they take your clothes, then your hair, then your sleep, then your sense of time, then your identity. They do it methodically, without cruelty, or at least not the kind of cruelty that's personal. This is industrial. You are raw material. You learn how to make a bed that could bounce a quarter. You learn how to eat in 3 minutes. You learn how to stand still for 45 minutes without moving, without scratching, without showing that your legs are burning. You learn that pain is mostly just information, and you can choose what to do with information. You do not have friends yet. You have people you are surviving alongside. At the end of 16 weeks, they give you an infantry blue cord and a unit patch, and you feel something you don't have a word for yet. Pride isn't right. It's more like relief, like you made it to the edge of the map and the map keeps going. You report to your battalion. You are 20 years old, or 19, or 22. It doesn't matter. In here, you are the youngest thing alive. Your first sergeant looks at you for approximately 1.5 seconds and goes back to his paperwork. Your squad leader shakes your hand and tells you not to touch anything in the arms room without permission. Your roommate in the barracks has a PlayStation and a chip on his shoulder, and he's been here 8 months longer than you, which means he outranks you in ways that don't appear on any official chart. You learn the invisible rules faster than the written ones. Don't be late. Don't be loud. Don't ask questions that make your leaders look like they don't have answers. Show up early. Volunteer when no one else does, but not so enthusiastically that you become the person who always gets volunteered. Stay in your lane. You're making $1,800 a month before taxes. You send $300 home. You spend the rest on food and things you don't need because you have nowhere to put anything else. You don't understand the mission yet. You understand your sector of fire, your battle buddy, your serial number. The battalion is a machine you are one bolt inside of, and you have no idea what the machine is for. Not really. Not yet. But you will. Level 2, Specialist. 18 months in, you get promoted and the world shifts exactly 3 degrees. You're still a junior soldier. You still get tasked for the worst details: burning trash, cleaning latrines, guarding the motor pool at midnight in January. But now there's someone below you, and that changes things in a way you didn't expect. You watch the new private fumble through things you now do without thinking, and you feel something close to patience, or maybe it's just distance. Hard to tell the difference this early. You know the battalion now. You know which staff sergeant runs a tight ship and which one is coasting toward retirement. You know which officers the enlisted men actually respect and which ones they perform for. You know that the Army runs on 2 currencies, rank and reputation, and rank is issued, but reputation is earned, and reputation is the one that actually matters inside the wire. Your squad leader has been to 2 deployments. He doesn't talk about them often, but when he does, you listen the way you'd listen to someone describing a place you've never been, but are definitely going. The deployment orders come on a Tuesday. 9 months, Southwest Asia. Your battalion will be operating in a province that has seen 3 other rotations come through in the last 6 years. You are not the first. You will not be the last. You land at 3 a.m. and the heat hits you before the ramp is fully down. It's like standing inside an engine. You think about that for a second, then you stop thinking about it, because your squad is moving and you move with it. The first firefight happens on day 11. It lasts 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
You know the exact time because you looked at your watch when it started, and you looked at it when it stopped, and you have never been more aware of the passage of seconds in your life. Afterward, you don't shake, you don't cry. You're a little surprised by that. You expected something different from yourself. You tell yourself you handled it well. You handled it the way training told you to handle it. That's not the same thing, but you won't know that for another year.
Level 3. Sergeant. The promotion board is formal. You wear your dress uniform and answer questions about doctrine and leadership and the Army values. You know the answers because you studied them, and you give the answers they want because you understand now that this is also part of the game, knowing when you're being evaluated and calibrating accordingly. Sergeant, 5 soldiers under you. Your first week as a team leader, one of your guys shows up late to formation. You handle it quietly, off to the side, no audience. Your squad leader notices and nods once. That nod means more to you than the promotion itself. You are 23 years old and you are responsible for 5 other human beings in a combat environment. You think about this at 0200 when you can't sleep. Not anxiously, you've moved past anxiety. More like accounting, running the numbers. Who is solid? Who needs watching? Who is a half-second slow on decisions and needs more repetition before the next patrol cycle? You learn something about leadership that nobody put in the manual. The hardest part isn't making decisions. The hardest part is making decisions when you know the outcome will be bad no matter what you choose, and then living cleanly inside that choice without letting your soldiers see the cost of it. One of your guys gets hit on patrol, not killed, but bad enough. You call it in, you hold the position, you get him evacuated. You do everything right. 2 weeks later, you're told the incident report is clean and you handled it correctly. You feel nothing when you hear this. You understand that's probably not a good sign, but you file it away. There's too much else to track. Back home, after rotation, you start going to the gym at 4:30 in the morning when no one else is there. You don't know exactly why. You just need a place where the only person you're accountable to is yourself. Your re-enlistment bonus is $24,000. You sign. Level 4. Staff Sergeant. You have been in long enough now that the institution is inside you. You don't have to think about the rules anymore. The rules think through you. When a new private makes a mistake, you can see exactly what the mistake is, exactly why they made it, and exactly what it will cost them if they keep making it. And you explain this to them in language that is calm and specific and allows them zero room for misunderstanding. You are a squad leader, 9 men. You are responsible for their training, their equipment, their discipline, their performance under fire, and, though the Army does not put it in these terms, their psychological survival in an environment that will try to take that from them every day. Second deployment. This one is harder than the first. The mission tempo is higher. The rules of engagement have changed. You are doing more with less, which is always true, but this time it has real consequences. 3 patrols a week into areas that weren't cleared the way the briefing suggested they were cleared. You make decisions that don't appear in any after-action report. Not illegal decisions, but decisions in the gray space, the 3-second window between a threat and an action, where you are the only one who saw exactly what you saw, where you are the only one who will ever know the full picture. You make the call, you live with the call, you move to the next objective. You are clearing $56,000 a year with hazard pay and deployment allowances. You don't spend much, there's nowhere to spend it. At home, your relationship ends. She says it in a way that is kind and true. You came back different. You don't argue. You have been watching yourself become different for years. You just thought it was invisible from the outside. You are 31. You look 40 in bad light. You re-enlist.
Level 5. Sergeant First Class. Platoon Sergeant. You are the spine of 35 soldiers. The lieutenant is in command. You are in control. This is the first rule of being an E7, understanding the difference between those two things and working inside it with precision. The lieutenant is 24. He graduated from West Point. He's intelligent and earnest and has read everything there is to read about counterinsurgency, and he knows almost nothing. You know this, and you don't say it. You say other things. You frame it as advice. You frame it as options. You let him make decisions that are actually yours, and when those decisions go well, you make sure he gets the credit. This is what real power looks like, not the kind that announces itself. Third deployment, different theater. The mission has evolved. You're not just patrolling now, you're advising a partnered force, which means you're building something rather than just holding something, and that requires a different kind of patience. It requires you to watch other men make mistakes you could prevent and say nothing, because the lesson is worth more than the efficiency. One night, a partnered unit makes contact and handles it badly. You watch the incident unfold across 2 radio networks and a drone feed. 3 of their soldiers are dead. Decisions made in the wrong sequence. You know exactly which decisions and exactly when they went wrong. You file a report. You give your assessment. The assessment goes up the chain and disappears. You stop expecting closure. You have 2 soldiers in your platoon who are struggling, not with performance, with the other thing, the thing that accumulates. You handle this carefully, quietly, without involving the chain of command in ways that would follow them on paper. You find solutions that don't create new problems. You have become very good at this. You have been in for 14 years. You know men who got out and are doing well. You know men who got out and aren't. You don't categorize yourself yet. You keep moving. Level 6, First Sergeant. There is a moment when you walk into a room and everyone in it adjusts. Not because you told them to, not because you're making noise, simply because you are there, and everyone in the room already knows who you are, what you've done, and what you're capable of. Not in a fearful way, but in a gravitational way. You have mass now. You exert pull. First Sergeant of an infantry company. 140 soldiers. You are the bridge between the officer world and the enlisted world, and the bridge is only as strong as what you know about both sides. You know everything. You know which of your platoon sergeants is burning out, and which one is a year away from being ready for your job. You know which officers are being groomed for battalion command, and which ones are being quietly managed sideways. You know who's having problems at home, who's drinking too much, who is performing well but feeling nothing, which is its own kind of dangerous. You know because your NCOs tell you, because your soldiers tell you when they trust you enough, because you have spent 14 years reading rooms and reading people and reading the space between what someone says and what they mean. You never raise your voice anymore. You don't need to. A soldier comes to you with something serious, something that, handled wrong, ends careers, potentially his, potentially yours, potentially the commanding officer's. You sit with it for 45 minutes. You make a decision. You absorb the parts of the decision that no one else can carry, and you distribute the rest with precision. The soldier is protected. The mission is protected. The truth is technically intact. You tell yourself this is leadership. You are right. You are also aware that leadership has become a word you use for things that used to have other names. You apply for Sergeant Major's Academy.